had plans across the street to have a development. And when we moved over there, we found a book called The Farnums, and it was all the history of this beautiful manor here, the Farnums.
I wanted nothing to do with this property over here. We wanted to do stuff over there. I had no interest in this property for years. He had it up for sale. He never even came over here.
So one day we were sitting on the porch over there, and we saw people over here vandalizing the place. It had been abandoned, and it was heartbreaking to see the place being abused like that. So we decided that we would come over here and take care of it.
Well, the grass was getting like 3 foot high, and people are going through the house like a tourist attraction. Someone knocked the door down. So I was going to come over here and board up the door, and because I didn't want no one messing up the house. That's the first time we actually came over here, so I'd board up the door.
Just happened the day that we came over here to take care of the place, the man from the bank came, and 2 weeks later we had the keys.
I just had this overwhelming feeling. I was standing in the front yard one day that we were going to end up at this house, and then like 2 weeks later, we were over here cleaning it up. It's not something we planned, ever planned to do, it just happened. The strangest thing is I had it all approved and everything. I gave it a name of Falling Timbers, because there were just these huge trees just laying in the back, and came up with this name. And then later, we found the book and started reading in the book, and there's this battle of falling timbers in the book that happened here. And that's our experience, these weird coincidence things. John Farnum was in the Revolutionary War in Connecticut when he was 16 years old. And then he eventually got married, and they had like 7 kids, and he moved them out here like 600 miles. It's part of the Western Reserve Connecticut connection there, where most of the people in Northeast Ohio came from Connecticut. After the war, they offered property to the people that had their houses damaged and all that stuff. The log cabin was their first house back there, a quarter mile behind the house on the bank of the river. Then started a sawmill up there where Furnace Run is downtown. And later was where John Farnum died in 1834, and Everett was the youngest son, who was born in the year 1800, inherited the property, and he built this house.
Farnum actually came here when he was only 12 years old. He traveled with his father from Connecticut. They traveled 600 miles with 6 kids, probably horse and buggy. And when they got here, it was hostile Indian territory. They didn't know that when they had acquired the land. Well, Farnum, being only 12 years old, he befriended the Indians, and he learned all about conservation from them, and he became a conservationist way ahead of his time.
1920, when Ella Mayer bought the place, she basically was a widow of the Akron police chief and turned this into a private club for the Akron policemen. It was like a brothel and gambling and hunting. This was all out here. Nowheres back then. I think that lasted like the 1920s and 30s, and then the Kirks came along. They were from Independence and wanted to make a restaurant out of it, and they turned it into the Danish Smorgasbord. That was from 48 to 72, the restaurant. And that was very popular. It was like the only restaurant around, and everyone in town and their kids actually worked here and stuff. But the Kirks lived upstairs, and then the daughter lived in the carriage house over there and raised her 3 kids there, which her one son is the mayor of Richfield now. And then the Zarubas came along and bought the place, and they did the most extensive remodeling and to the place. They were trying to make it into bed and breakfast, and that's where we came in after them.
The place has always been very mysterious. There's a great curiosity for everyone passing by because it is so big and so elegant. It's just mysterious.
Gester was its big sister, and it was like in the basement, but you could access it from the kitchen, I guess. Must have been a cover there. And the nanny was supposed to be watching the kids, or Emily, and she accidentally fell in there and drowned. And Everett was so upset, she wouldn't even look at the nanny or talk to her, made her leave the house, and she was like banished from the house. I just felt bad for her.
Emily spirit has been seen in the yard by many people. It's been legend for years and years. She is the daughter that drowned in the cistern here back in the 1800s. So her spirit has been seen here by quite a few people, and everyone that has seen her says she's wearing a white dress with little flowers. Some people say they're pink flowers, some people say they're yellow flowers, some say they're pink and yellow flowers. But we found her dress up at the Historical Society, and it's actually, even though it's gray now, you can tell that it was once white and it has little flowers on it.
In the beginning, I was a ghost hunter until I realized my responsibility was to help ghosts move on. That's what a ghost banisher does. I'm also a practicing psychic. I work with police departments, trying to solve cold cases and missing person cases. I have seen Emily. She seems to be a bright, happy child. I'm not sure why she's still here, why she won't go. The other child that's in this house may have followed someone else to visit this house. It's a little boy that was attracted to here and visited, never wanted to leave because he's hanging out with Emily.
It's more of a spiritual thing to me. You know, they're like angels to us, the people here, guiding us through this whole thing. That's what we keep thinking, like, it's not a scary place.
I do ghost tours at Halloween time, and I include the Farnam Manor on the run. We walked into the side door, and Kathy and Tim were talking about the manor, and I chimed in, yeah, if you keep your hands down, sometimes a child will grab your hand. And right after I'd said this, the gentleman yelled out loud, grabbed his hand up, and proceeded to run out of the Farnam Manor claiming something had grabbed his hand.
When we lived across the street, every night when we went to bed, there was like a little thump up above in the ceiling. And we always used to kid around and say, "Good night, Mr. Ellis." That's the man that built the house. And when we came over here, there was the thump in the ceiling every night. It didn't matter if it was 10 o'clock when we went to bed or 2 o'clock in the morning. We hear it's just like a little knock.
Kathy's saying that there's knockings in the home here, and also when she travels to cross the street, I wouldn't be surprised that a spirit would follow her. Spirits can go from place to place. They don't have to stay in one spot. They can move.
A picture that I had hanging on the wall, it's actually a picture of my ancestors that lived in the 1800s. And I had it hanging in the library, and I was doing a tour, and one of the guys in the tour said, "Why is that picture hanging upside down?" And here the picture was upside down inside the frame. And I thought someone was playing a trick on me, because I had just been in there the night before and the picture was fine.
We were visiting on a ghost tour last year. We were in the kitchen talking about the spot where Emily had died, and everybody was kind of gathered in the middle of the kitchen. And there was a little fire going, and the lights flipped off. And we actually heard the click, and I looked over and there was nobody standing there.
I had some decorations stored out in the carriage house, and I went out there to bring them in and use them at Christmas time. And when I walked into the carriage house, there was a music box started to play. I looked everywhere in that carriage house. I could not find the music. You know how you kind of follow the sound, and I was trying to find it. So I went inside to tell the family that I heard music out in the carriage house. And we went back out there, and right in the middle of the floor was the music box. And it was playing that song, Memories. So I think that was maybe Emily just wishing us a Merry Christmas.
There is a presence of a female in the house, and I believe she was a prostitute that was told by a man who frequently visited her here that he was going to come back for her and make her his wife. She's still waiting upstairs. She still stands on the porch. You can see her in a almost looks like a long gown, white gown, maybe light blue gown. And she's been seen quite regularly, and she's still waiting for him. You know, I guess she's still in love, and she believed him when he said he was coming back, but I'm not sure he's coming back.
The twin pine tree that's out in the yard is still standing from Indian times. The Indians actually made it grow to point north and south so that it would mark their trail out there, and the tree's still standing. So there's still part of the Indian heritage here too.
There is an Indian trail here. You have your signal trees, one in the front yard and one in the side yard. I wouldn't be surprised if this place has what you call drive-by hauntings, meaning you have spirits that come and go on a trail or up and down a road that stop in and out. The little girl and little boy tend to be more of a mischievous presence in the house. You'll hear more noises from them, The woman would be the sad presence in the house, would be the presence that you would hear moaning or crying. So each ghost brings its own set of experiences in. So tonight the goal is to try to get some good evidence, EVPs, maybe some pictures, and with my help possibly summon them forward to talk about what's going on here. And then the possibility, if they want to leave at the very end of the night, I will offer a spirit release.
He was a colorful guy. But he invited the community to enjoy his property, and that's sort of what we want to keep going, is the whole community involvement and enjoyment of the property.
Farnum had a philosophy. He said, God and I are partners on this land, and I feel under great obligation to do it right. And we want to carry on that philosophy. We figured that this place needs to be enjoyed by the whole community. So we made it into a nonprofit where we set it up as a house museum in order for everyone to be able to take part in the preservation of this beautiful manor.
Over here, right? I want to get as much attention. So.
Camera 1 we have set up in Emily's room because people have actually reported seeing Emily sometimes and hearing her. Camera 2 we have set up in the downstairs parlor. We have one down there because people have had numerous experiences. Some people have seen things, heard things, and we're gonna see what we can catch. Camera 3 we have set up in one of the bedrooms upstairs. Apparently a Civil War soldier died in that room. Camera 4 we have set up in the kitchen. Got that there because we're trying to capture people getting their pizza. And looks like we just got one. We've also captured EVPs in that room, and people have actually experienced being touched. Wireless audio we have set up in Emily's room, primarily because we're going to see if we can try to capture her voice and her speaking.
Kathy, let me run through what we're going to do here tonight. Okay. What we have here is a 4-channel oscilloscope. Basically what an oscilloscope does is it takes electronic waveforms, radio frequency, digital frequencies, video, and it allows you to actually see those waveforms on a CRT screen. We're going to run various interfaces into this oscilloscope. That way we can visually see the EVP that we may be listening to at the time.
This wavelength here, it'll change then?
Yeah, once we have that set to our default, that's going to be basically our baseline. At that point, any changes that occur, we're going to be able to see those in real time and be able to analyze that data later. One of the other experiments we're going to be doing here tonight is a deprivation experiment. You see these muffs that you wear, these will block out about 95% of the sound. We also have these glasses that block out the same.
Why would you want to do that?
The theory is when you actually block out many of the senses that you rely on most often, that you are actually heightening your awareness a little bit. By running the violet noise generator that we have here, we're going to be creating through the earbuds actually a kind of blank pattern. In many cases, the EVPs that we get are actually embedded back within that kind of white noise.
This is purely electronic. That means anything we capture will be a true EVP.
After a few moments of it, you actually have to fight a panic because you're not used to being without these senses. However, that's also another one of the theories that we've been wanting to test is the effect that a person's fear might have on the level of activity.
What we're going to do from here is we're going to go out front to tech and let everybody know we're going to start the investigation. We've got everything set up here. I think we're happy with what we got going here for the evening, and hopefully we can come up with something really good for you.
Thanks for coming out, Eric.
Okay, all right.
EVP session, kitchen, Eric Scott, What's that?
Dead battery.
Interesting. That's 2 down. I've got an extra battery in my pocket here if you need it. Both recorders.
Ian, I know these were good. Emily? Are you in here with us? Emily, could you come over here and sit down with us?
Got a chair right here.
That was weird.
What was that?
Right over here by the door. It was like a twinkle, like of something light or something moving across the doorway towards the fireplace over here.
And at the same time you noticed that, I saw this thing get brighter and dimmer too. All right, Everett, are you here? Do you mind us being here in your house, sitting in your kitchen?
Everett, you were the man of the house. This was a beautiful home that you built. You had a lovely family. If you're here with us tonight, I would like to talk to you personally. Can you come into the room here? You don't have to fear all these devices that we have setting on the table. I can assure you they will not harm you anyway.
It allows us to be able to know that you're here and possibly help you communicate with us. If you could come over and touch this box with the bright red light on it over here, and we'll be able to know that you're here.
Listen. I could have sworn I heard someone say over here.
Natural EM's going off.
Hey, Emily, do you remember this area here? It's where the cistern was. You must have been so scared. I don't think you're scared anymore, though. Scott.
Yeah.
I'm feeling cold. Emily, could you show me what happened that day? You can take my hand if you'd like. Just take my hand. Take me and show me what happened.
I just saw something dart across the hallway up there.
Did you? Are you over here? If it's not Emily, who's over here? Let us know who you are.
Oh, wow, there's an upstairs too.
Yeah, but it's not good upstairs.
It's not good. If there's somebody here, can you give us a sign of your presence?
Can you tap on something? Ow. Damn table. I think I'd have a heart attack if that little doll came over here and like started walking towards me. She's over here, Jen. Ugh. God, I hate dolls. Can you knock on something? Let us know that you're here with us? God, she's creepy. Come here and look at her, Jen.
Did you just...
What? This is what I did. I was here, and then I was here.
What in the world?
I'm telling you, it's that little doll.
No, no, no. That was really weird. Hold on. It's not happening anymore.
What? Is it a web?
No, 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 no. I felt like something was going like this.
Like what?
Like moving the floor, but it was like dramatic. Can you guys walk around a little bit?
Or at least
What the heck?
Is it doing it again?
Yeah, it's like it pushed up this time. It's not happening again, though.
Can you come and push me?
Dude, I swear I thought our eyes moved.
I'm telling you. That's what it did the last time. And Sean looked at me like I was crazy.
Can you, I feel, are her eyelashes
Like,
moving?
Baby alive. It's baby alive. You jerk. Oh, I hate dolls. Don't do that.
It's a doll. I don't think it can move.
Come on, raise your hand. Hello.
Can you drop your hand?
She raised her hand.
Drop your hand.
No, she's too stiff.
All right, let's go over and get our equipment and go chill out over
She's
here.
gonna come over here and smack me now. Like, ow. Dang it. Smack me around. I can't see a thing.
Wow. That's a crazy, crazy, crazy.
What was that?
What was that?
What was that? Seriously?
Dude, the doll dropped her hand.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm okay as long as I don't walk into a big frickin' spider web.
What were the claims out here?
They've seen shadow people out here.
Like maybe Emily?
No, more like Indians.
Oh, Indian?
Yeah. What do you think, around in here?
Yeah,
Nice
over
big
here.
open area?
In this area.
Okay.
By the ledge. Or the hill.
Holy shite.
Is that a spider?
Yeah.
You sure? Oh! Oh my god.
Oh no.
Thing is huge.
That's just not even right, man.
Oh my god. But I hear...
You got a big old spider web
What?
connected to you.
Get it off.
It's like leaning down onto you.
God.
Man, I hate spiders. Ooh. Look
Don't
at
piss
that.
it off.
Oh, that's just not right.
Dude, don't...
Oh,
shit.
Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, look at its eyes. Look at him. He's just hanging out like, go ahead, grab me, man.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, look at his, oh. Okay. Oh man, it's just like this feeling something's gonna drop on me. Does it make all of you guys mad? With all that noise out there? Do you guys have like a call? Like an Indian call or a sign for each other? Sean here is gonna yell real loud, like an Indian.
What? Eric, I think you're
And
best.
try to make the same sound as he does.
I think you're best qualified for that, Eric. It's all you.
You won't do it?
I don't think I even could.
Did that sound more like a turkey?
A mixture.
Can you make a really loud noise? or yell.
Can you touch one of us?
Come on now, we could do some trading.
What was that? Seriously?
Dude, the doll dropped her hand.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it was up.
on. Dude, you're not supposed to do that unless the camera. Ooh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, because look, it's on the barrel.
Come on, stop, Jen.
Look at that. All right,
And you saw how hard I was hitting it. It won't
document
come down.
this. Okay.
Okay. Doll
It's there.
hand up. Blink. That's your new nickname. Blink. Ooh.
And we're gonna walk back over here. Come on.
Okay. Table. Let's take the equipment by the doll.
Okay.
And sit there on the floor and watch her. We're gonna sit here and study the dolly. Let's just sit right in front. See, there's Gaga. Check her out.
Wow, that is
Doesn't
Gaga.
it look like Gaga? Even like the pink lips. I'm telling you, that doll's possessed.
Okay.
All right. I just want to see.
How easy. That's what that sound was.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw how hard I was hitting it.
Us walking.
Dead weight.
It has a delayed reaction. Look at that.
Nah.
Well, actually, if it was about here.
Ka-tonk.
Delayed reaction. I don't like that. She's still looking at me.
She's looking at me too.
Scott. Scott.
Yeah.
The red light dimmed out, but not all the way. It dimmed out as if something was passing right in front of it. I saw it twice. And it wasn't like it blacked out, it was just like it dimmed.
And that's right over where the cistern is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What the heck?
What?
I just heard something over here. It's almost like a giggle, like a little girl.
Really?
Yeah. Emily, is that you?
Wait a second. Sit back down. There is no freaking way what I just saw. Shine your light over there, sit exactly the way you were.
Okay, I am.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Someone's looking in the, right there.
Where?
In the doorway.
Which doorway?
Right
That
here.
one?
Right here. Holy crap. Dude, look at my hair. I saw it. Man, someone was standing right here, like just looking right at us. Right here. Can't open these. They're locked.
Yeah, let's see the latched at the bottoms.
That was the freakiest thing I've seen in a while.
And I heard.
Well, here's what I saw first. I saw the shadow. When you shine the light over here, I saw what appeared to be the shadow of a head and shoulders about this high.
What I had heard was actually a rustling like clothes over here. Which is why I was going to stand up and come out here. So.
Whatever it was not dark. It had white to it. It had like...
You must have seen it right as I was looking away then, because I didn't see anything over here.
Here's what it looked like. Go over there and look at me. This is what it appeared like. Now shine your light over here.
Okay.
It appeared like this, like something was going like this. I could see just the whole top half of whatever it was. And it was like this, and it was moving like this, all right? And then as soon as I made mention of it, it was gone like that. And it was standing right here.
Hope you know how to get back, because I don't remember.
Hear that noise? Right there.
Where?
What's it sound like?
Like a poop, poop.
I don't hear it.
Deaf?
Other people have seen you. We just want to know if that's true.
We know you've been hiding out here. So all you gotta do is come out. Hey, Sean.
Ah,
Sounded like there was a voice down here. I know this is gonna sound really stupid. It sounded like Roseanne Barr, Roseanne Barr.
sounded like her.
Yeah, it sounded like her.
Maybe she's out in the woods with us. Which,
It was like, just very. It sounded like Rosie.
while we're out here, and do some wood knocking.
I was thinking of that, but I didn't think you'd be game for it. Oh yeah.
Is there any sticks worthy of it? It's too dry. What about really long? Oh, perfect. That solves that issue.
Yeah, keep on doing it right there. I'm gonna go over here.
Feel like an old lady. There we go.
Dang, I'll just get it again. Every time I sit in there.
Okay. You shouldn't be able to hear me.
I can hear you
Can you?
a little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Okay. All right, kill the light, let's leave. You got 30 minutes. Okay.
Once I'm sure we don't take a picture.
I'm gonna timestamp this and watch it quick. I can hear that.
Yeah. We placed the wireless audio in Emily's bedroom, and pretty much it picks up all the audio in her room and all the rooms around it, and we can even pick up some audio in some of the rooms downstairs. These headphones block out all the other noise except the noise from the wireless audio, and then we can go over it later and debunk whether the noises we heard were paranormal or just bumps in the night. And I've recorded a lot of audio so far.
I like tech because you can actually almost see the entire investigation right in front of you.
Right.
When you see people react to things that are in the room, you can actually follow them and see what they see.
I'm very analytical, and when I see things on screen, I want to try to reason it. I like seeing what's happening. When you're out there in the field, you're the only thing you have perspective on is your location and what you're doing at the time. when here on tech you can see what all, you know, what's going on throughout the house.
All right, camera one, they're up in Emily's room and they're using a toy, a ball, and some coins and a little doll carriage, that's a toy, to try to get Emily to come forward. But Scott just disappeared. I don't know.
There he is. He's
Did he walk off
reappeared.
screen? Okay.
Where's Emily hiding?
Where is she?
Is she in here? Emily, are you here with us?
Maybe it doesn't.
It might not, yeah.
Would you like to touch my coins, Emily? This might be too close to us.
I will also, Emily, here's some candy. It's jelly beans. And so
Some candy.
We'll put these out here so you can
Let's play.
take some of those if you want.
Do you hear that? May the light of God surround us. May the light of God be within us. And may the light of God protect us. Blessed be this light. Can you see this light?
Do you remember me from the last time I was here, Emily? I remember standing over at the window here and talking to you, and I made a comment about the fireflies outside. I asked you whether or not you like to catch fireflies. And then you made the room really cold for me. Can you do that again? Did you just hear that?
Yeah, on the side of the room.
Yeah. It's like a whisper.
Can you touch me?
Right now, Robin is actually in there doing the deprivation experiment, and anytime she hears anything, she's supposed to raise her hand like this, so we can note it over here, so we can go back and listen and see what was going on with her. Hey. George. Probably should there was some red light.
Here.
Oh, sorry.
All right, what did you experience?
You know how when you're sleeping and you know someone's next to you, or like in your bubble? I felt that a couple times, but it got colder, and I raised my hand, and like before all that was happening, like I thought I heard two really faint voices, but then I like distant woman or young girl, and I raised my hand, but I felt like somebody was in my bubble, and I don't like them in my bubble. Like kind of how you're sleeping and you just know.
I saw a gentleman in this doorway
The one
with the
behind,
dog.
the one behind you?
The one right here, this doorway. I mean, when I was first originally here in the house. And we definitely caught a sensation of death or something in front of the fireplace. And it seems like everybody who goes past this fireplace feels it. So there's an imprint. I saw that lady in blue. She talked to me once. She told me that the man was coming back for her. And he was going to make her his wife. But I believe she died, and she stayed here to see if he would still come back. She's waiting for him and waiting for him.
Apparently it called herself Maryland that was here. that possibly is that woman. Maryland, can you come and tell us about the man you're waiting for? Can you tell us his name?
He's not coming back for you, dear. I want you to move into the light if you're ready. And don't be sad here waiting on a man. It's not worth it. It's time to move on into the light. If you'd like to leave tonight with me, I can help you find the light and help you cross over. You don't need to stay at the Farnam Manor any longer. Don't wait on a man. He is not coming here for you. Do not wait on a man.
I got a static electricity feeling
I just
all
got
over
a feeling
my arm
on my
here.
hand. I just got it in my hand. Oh yeah, now I'm getting goosebumps, you're right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
something's
right
right over here, yeah.
He's not coming back. Feel the back of my neck. I'm all like suddenly I just got all sweaty. I'm all like kind of wet and sweaty.
Yeah, and
I just gotta.
Honestly, my hand is shaking kind of uncontrollably at the moment. It's,
Wow.
It's, yeah.
This room is so intense.
It is. Everett, are you here? We heard that on the day you died, you took a tour around your farm and then came back here and said that you felt as though your time was up, and then you came up here and laid down and just died. Getting a little dizzy.
You all right?
This kind of stuff usually doesn't hit me very hard, but for some reason tonight. Maryland, I don't think your lover's coming back for you. I think waiting around here is, you will almost definitely never see him again.
If you cross into the light, you can probably see him there.
Can you show yourself to us?
Maybe in this doorway.
The feeling's kind of lessening, actually.
All right, we're wrapping it up now. It's about 10 after 4. We had some very interesting experiences tonight. I think some of the experiments that we did are going to prove to show us a little bit more possibly into some of the paranormal anomalies that we're looking to understand.
It's been actually in some ways a very tough night and a tough investigation.
I'm looking forward to going over the evidence on this one. I think that it's going to show some pretty cool stuff. One of the components that we used during the experiments at the Farnam Manor was a 100 megahertz 4-channel oscilloscope. We look at monitoring real-time EVP listening through some of our recording devices such as the 360. The oscilloscope gives us a visual of what's going on. It allows us to capture digitally anything that we see that could be interesting so that we can actually analyze these EVPs or analyze some of the data or anomalies that we capture. One in particular which interests me quite a bit was a very good EVP which we believe to be Emily's voice. Jennifer and Robin were playing hide and go seek, which is a game that Emily seems to like. Robin was asking for Ichabod and Emily to join the game. Right after she had mentioned their names, it had to be only a second or so later, you hear a little girl say Emily.
Now you guys better run a hide, Timothy, Ichabod, or Emily. You got to the count of 10 to go hide, Timothy, Ichabod, or Emily. You got to the Ichabod or Emily. You got to the count of 10.
Jen and I had been asked to go out and investigate the carriage house, which I'm not a big fan of it because I absolutely despise dolls, and there is one of the creepiest dolls out there in the world.
We were just messing around with it, and we had the arm moved up and kind of just playing around with it, and the arm was sticking up, and we were kind of like banging it down, trying to get it to move down, and it was kind of like pretty stiff when we pulled it up.
Well, we had been walking away, and We heard her arm hit like a flower pot or something.
I noticed right away that the arm of the doll had come down. So I played around with it, and it would slowly come down, like it almost had a delay, and then it would kind of go quickly and then bang against the barrel.
Me and Sean was doing an EVP session out in the woods, and it was really quiet out there. You really can't hear anything too much because the expressway's right off of the woods. So we figured we'd start trying to communicate with Grassman, because it's right on the edge of the Cuyahoga Valley, which there's been claims of Sasquatch or Bigfoot in those areas. Wood knocking is a technique used to try to communicate with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Ohio Grassman. It's pretty much a stick. You bang it against a tree, and if you hear one come back, then apparently it's Bigfoot. Whooping is another technique used to try to communicate with Sasquatch, and it's just pretty much like a high pitch that you make with your voice. And we didn't get anything back. The only thing I pretty much really heard out there was what sounded like Roseanne Barr trying to communicate with us.
Me and Eric were out in the woods doing an EVP session, and probably about 45 minutes in, near the end, we were getting some weird problems with the radio. A few minutes after that, we didn't hear it, but later on, when evidence was reviewed, we actually heard what sounded like a female voice. Did someone call or say something? Say something? I think we're too far out.
I glanced up from the table at one point, and I saw at the end of the kitchen over where the doorway where you enter into the kitchen from the dining room. I saw it appeared like something stepped out of the doorway, stepped into the slightly into the room a little bit, and then kind of darted back when I looked up at it. I couldn't tell if it was male or female, but it did have a whitish appearance to it. So I assumed it may have been a dress of some sort, possibly female, but couldn't tell for sure.
There seemed to be a lot of strange things coming up on the equipment when we had them in there. The natural EM meter would go off regularly. We tried contacting several people that are thought to haunt the place. The little girl Emily, Everett Farnum himself were the two main ones that we were attempting to contact. Eric happened to see at one point the red light of the negative ion generator get blocked out as if by a shadow, and he went over to investigate it. Over to my right, I actually heard what sounded like a little girl giggling. A few minutes later, just about the same time that Eric saw what appeared to be an apparition, I heard a sound like rustling cloth. I've heard not just the sound of the rustling cloth and the sound of the girl giggling. On multiple occasions, I've actually heard what sounds like a little girl kind of singing or playing.
Later that night, when me and Eric were doing an EVP session in the carriage house, when we were finishing up right at the end, I was turning around to go grab my camera that was sitting on the table, and it was pitch black. The only light was the light from the camera. And I turned around, and right there looked like a child was looking up at me. And it only lasted for like a split second, but I can almost see facial detail, which led me to believe it might or could have been Emily.
People's physiologies often react differently and unexpectedly in the presence of paranormal phenomenon. In this case, I happened to get extremely nervous and uneasy, feeling like I shouldn't be in the room. I don't attribute this necessarily to any sort of a negative entity that might have been in the place. I think it was merely the presence of something that would happen to be there.
One of the latest experiments that we're conducting is a deprivation experiment. This is a very complicated experiment which deals with putting someone in a deprived state, basically removing their sight from the room, their hearing. During that deprivation period, the person may experience heightened senses. They may be able to actually pick up on sounds, possibly voices, even visuals.
I was one of the first to volunteer for the deprivation experiment. It was a little awkward not being able to see at all or hear anything. At some points, I had felt like I had maybe wasn't the only one in the room, or Like when you're sleeping, how you kind of have an idea that someone's in front of you, or if your back's turned, you know that someone's there.
2 weeks after the shoot for the show, we actually went back out and did another kind of mini investigation.
I pretty much positioned myself in the corner of the room next to a window in the fireplace. Jen immediately stated to me as I was looking down this hallway that she saw a shadow in front of me. I slowly turned forward, but I did not see it at that time.
Tony moved over and we were standing kind of in the doorway area. And he had his back faced to the doorway and I was in front of him by the fireplace in the soldiers' room. And we weren't even asking for anything, we were just kind of sitting there trying to observe.
Jen was actually facing me, so she had a clear visibility down that hallway. At that moment, Jen looked at me and she told me that there was something moving and coming maybe towards me in that hallway.
And I said, Tony, I said, turn around. Very slowly, I said, there's something moving behind you. Turned around with his red flashlight on, really slowly, and both of us saw a figure.
Tony, right behind you. Don't just turn around.
Whoa. See it?
Oh my gosh!
Holy shit. Holy.
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
You saw that?
Oh,
my god!
Oh.
You okay?
You alright?
It was the most intense experience I think I've ever had doing any investigation at any other property.
I probably saw the entity probably for a total of 5 full seconds. The entity had a small head. Its arms were outstretched all the way, and the arms were very, very long. And it was about 7 to 8 feet tall.
It had an arm span that I couldn't even tell. Like it was so far out.
In the scientific world, it's really, really important to separate two people when they see something like this. We immediately went to Eric. Eric decided to sit us down and to document exactly what we saw.
From the point that I saw it, it was pretty solid, but it kind of faded out. And then it was there for maybe a good 3 to 5 seconds. And Tony and I were like stunned. We couldn't even move. And then it just kind of like inverted and disappeared.
We kind of froze. And I think after the 5 full seconds, it was basically over. The edges of it decided to, it's almost like it dematerialized from the outside going in, but it was really rapid. It wasn't a slow dematerialize, it really went fast. And when it finally went, it went almost into a ball and just disappeared altogether.
I always thought that, what am I going to say in the presence? What would I say in the presence of a full-bodied apparition of any sort? Like, what would I do? And all I could do was sit there and be numb and not speak. I was just like, it was so intense that I couldn't even move. And we joke later like, wow, we should have said something like hi or something like that, but we couldn't even move. It was incredible.
During the time Tony and Jennifer saw the shadow and had that experience, there was an electromagnetic interference. I have an engineering background, and I can tell you that this wasn't a video glitch. It wasn't anything to do with power. It was an electromagnetic type of interference. One other anomaly is what appears to be a kind of a transparent type object move away from the bed out the door during the electromagnetic interference that was appearing on the DVR.
I can say that I have never really seen anything that was definitive in my mind that was paranormal until Farnam Manor.
It's a place that's very unique. It's almost like a place where we can actually study and build up knowledge of the paranormal.
Of all of the places that we visited, I don't think we've ever found a place where the spirits are not just present in the place, but actually a part of the place and a part of its history. The ghosts that remain behind at Farnam Manor are there because of their great love of the place, not because of anything negative or evil or bad or scary. This is not a negative haunting in any way. This is a very positive kind of place, and you can feel that when you go in. Those feelings that you get from this place are as much a part of the love from the spirits of the place as it is from the people who currently own it.